The sublime and marvelous inward and upward ascension of the radiant sixth serpent along the spinal medulla canal of my Buddhic body gave me, as a fact and by my own right, open passage into the sixth Venustic initiation. In that epoch, I had to vividly experience in the Buddhic or intuitional universal world some transcendental chapters of the Christic gospel. I want now to refer with vast delicacy to certain secret and marvelous passages which were intentionally eliminated from the original text by scribes and doctors of the law. Certainly it is lamentable that the Hebraic Holy Bible was so cruelly mutilated, adulterated, deformed. Multiple, perfect rhythmical concordances with diverse esoteric procedures, which we must vividly experience here and now, was what I then experienced in that cosmic intuitional region. These were extraordinary scenes related with the other planets of our solar system of ores, a system in which we live, move, and where our being resides. The sun of midnight shone in the unalterable infinite when the sixth viper of light resplendently passed through the august threshold of its correspondent chamber in the tranquil heart. I entered into the temple of initiation, accompanied by many people. In the procession, each one of us carried within our dexterous hand a candle, a taper, or a burning torch. In those instants, I vividly experienced those esoteric verses which literally say, "And immediately, while he yet spake, cometh Judas, one of the 12, and with him a great multitude with swords and staves, from the chief priests, or men who are constituted by mundane authority, and the scribes, in other words, those who pass in the world as wise, and the elders, those who pass in the world as prudent and discreet. And as soon Judas was come, he goeth straightway to him, and saith, Master, Master, and kissed him. And they laid their hands on him, and took him. Mark 14, 43, 45, 46. While inebriated with ecstasy, I exclaimed, I am the Christ. Then an adept lady reproved me by saying, Be careful. Thou must not say that, for it is disrespectful. I then answered, In these moments, I am representing him. This sacred lady then kept a respectful silence. This cosmic drama within the temple of the transparent walls had a certain very heavy and terribly divine miastic flavor. While being converted into the central personage, I had to experience within myself the following evangelical passages. And they led Jesus away to Caiaphas, the high priest, the demon of evil will. And with him were assembled all the chief priests, the official authorities of this world, and the elders, very respectable people full of experience, and the scribes, the intellectuals. And the chief priests and all the council sought for witness against Jesus, the inner Savior, to put him to death, and found none. For many bare false witness against him, but their witness agreed not together. And there arose certain, and bare false witness against him, saying, We heard him say, I will destroy this temple that is made with hands, referring to the animal body. And within 3 days, I will build another, made without hands, the spiritual body, to Soma Heliocon. But neither so did their witness agree together. And the high priest, with his evil will, stood up in the midst and asked Jesus, saying, Answerest thou nothing? What is it which these witness against thee? But he held his peace and answered nothing. Silence is the eloquence of wisdom. Again the high priest asked him and said unto him, Art thou the Christ, the Son of the Blessed, the second Logos? And Jesus said, I am, he is. And ye shall see the Son of Man, every true Christified or Osirified one, sitting on the right hand of power of God, the first Logos, and coming in the clouds of heaven. Then the high priest, The demon of evil will rent his clothes, and saith, What need we any further witnesses? Ye have heard the blasphemy. What think ye? And they all condemned him to be guilty of death. And some began to spit on him, and to cover his face, and to buffet him, and to say unto him, Prophesy. And the servants did strike him with the palms of their hands. Mark 14, 53, 55, 65. And straightway in the morning the chief priests held a consultation with the elders and the scribes and the whole council, and bound Jesus and carried him away, and delivered him to Pilate. And Pilate, the demon of the mind, asked him, Art thou the King of the Jews? And he answering said unto him, Thou sayest it. And the chief priests, the authorities of this world, accused him of many things, but he answered nothing. And Pilate asked him again, saying, Answerest thou nothing? Behold, how many things they witness against thee. All of the people accuse the eternal Christ, even those who call themselves his followers. But Jesus yet answered nothing. I repeat, silence is the eloquence of wisdom. So that Pilate, the demon of the mind, marveled. Now at that feast he released unto them one prisoner whomsoever they desired. And there was one named Barabbas, the demon of perversity which everyone carries inside, which lay bound with them that had made insurrection with him, who had committed murder in the insurrection, because the ego is always a murderer and an evil one. And the multitude, crying aloud, began to desire him to do as he had ever done unto them. But Pilate answered them, saying, Will ye that I release unto you the King of the Jews? For he knew that the chief priests, the authorities of all types, had delivered him for envy. But the chief priests moved the people, that he should rather release Barabbas unto them. The authorities of all types always defend the ego. They say, first I, then me, and thirdly myself. And Pilate answered and said again unto them, What will ye then that I shall do unto him who ye call the King of the Jews? And they cried out again, Crucify him. Crucifixia, crucifixia, crucifixia. Mark 15, 1, 14. I left from the ineffable sancta, ecstatic after having directly experienced the tremendous intimate reality of all of these formerly cited verses. I departed from the great cathedral of the soul, wearing a new tunic of glory, a splendorous long vesture. How joyful I felt there when contemplating the broad panorama. Then I saw the flux and reflux of all things. Buddhi is like a fine and transparent alabaster cup, within which the flame of prajna is burning. Atman, the being, has two souls. The first is the spiritual soul, which is feminine Buddhi. The second is the human soul, and it is masculine superior Manas. The intellectual animal, mistakenly called human being, has only the essence incarnated within himself, clearly. The latter is the Buddhata, a minimal fraction of the human soul. This is the psychic material with which the auric embryo can and must be fabricated. Read the book, The Mystery of the Golden Blossom. The fountain and foundation of high magic is found in the perfect betrothal of Buddhi-Manas, in the purely spiritual regions, or in the terrestrial world. Helen clearly signifies the betrothal of Nous Atman Buddhi with Manas, the human soul or causal body, a union through which consciousness and willpower are united. Therefore, both souls are bestowed with divine powers as a result of such a union. The essence of Atman, who is the primordial, universal, and eternal divine fire, is found within Buddhi, who in complete conjunction with Manas, the causal human soul, determines the masculine-feminine aspect. The beautiful Helen of Troy is the same Helen in Goethe's Faust, the Shakti, or feminine potential of the internal being. She and he, Buddhi-Manas, are the twin souls within ourselves, even when the intellectual animal still does not have them incarnated. They are the two beloved children of Atman, the innermost. They are the eternal bride and groom, who are always in love. Such love has infinite correlations with the conjugated pair of the double sons of heaven, and with the earth and the moon, or with the protoplasmic amphiaster of the determinant cells, as it is known in the mysterious phenomena of karyokinesis, or morphological nuclear division of a single cell, also in the universal symbolism of the epopeies, and of all literary works where the ideal love between two beings of opposite sexes constitute the alma mater. Unquestionably, the Sahaja Maithuna, as a sacrament of the Church of Rome, is repeated with the twins within the Akasha Tattva, and is gloriously continued with Osiris Isis in the region of Anupadaka. I clarify. When we cite the Church of Rome, we must reverse the letters. This word must be read like this: amore, love. Obviously, sex is the church of love. When we grasp its deep significance, the theory of the twin souls does not imply any danger. The chemical coitus, the metaphysical copulation, gloriously shines in the zenith of the ideal, without even a trace of a shadow of impurity. Legitimate enamoring is never separate from sex. The sexual act is certainly the consubstantiation of love within the psychophysiological realism of our nature. The betrothal of Buddhi-Manas is only possible by means of the chemical coitus. Sexual pleasure is a legitimate right of the human being. Renato committed the error of emphatically affirming that Helen of Simon the Magi was a beautiful woman of flesh and bone, whom the sighted Magi had found in a brothel in the city of Tyre. According with his biographers, she was also the reincarnation of Helen of the Greeks. Renato's concept does not resist a deep analysis. The authentic initiatic colleges teach with complete clarity that beautiful Helen is Buddhi, the spiritual soul of the sixth Venustic initiation, the feminine Shakti potential.